In this lesson, we'll learn how to select objects inside of 3ds Max. So we've discussed the interface, how to navigate inside of 3D space, and now we need to discover how we can actually select objects inside of 3ds Max. And we can select objects a couple of different ways. We can simply click on the object, and you'll notice that the wireframe has changed to white, letting you know that this object is selected. And you'll also notice that you'll get a bounding box around your object. Now, we can simply click on an object, or we can do a marquee selection, which if we click and drag our left mouse button, this will create a marquee selection, or a box shape if you want to think of it that way. And this will allow you to select objects that basically are inside of this box or even touching the line of this box. So if we release that, our teapot is now selected. So we can also deselect objects. Sometimes we have selected an object we didn't want to select, and we can just simply deselect it by clicking away. Okay, so that's with a single object. So how can we actually select multiple objects? So let's go ahead and actually open up a different file here, and I just wanted to show you how we can do this, just in case you have never touched 3ds Max before. And we're going to go to Open File, and it's going to say, do you want to save your changes? I'm just going to hit No on this, and I'm going to open up Lesson 4 Start. You can find this under your Scenes folder inside of your Project Files folder that you've downloaded for this lesson. So let's go ahead and hit Open. And here we have multiple teapots. And you'll notice that if I click on this one, just doing a single left mouse button click, and I want to select this one too, but I'm still using that same method, I can only select one at a time. Okay? So to select multiples, just by clicking on objects, I need to hold down Control. So if I hold Control and select another object, you'll notice that it keeps my selected objects previously and appends any new selections. Okay? Now, if I want to deselect some of these objects, I just simply hold down Alt and deselect the ones that I don't want. So if I deselect this one, you'll notice that it saves my selections while deselecting anything else. Okay? Now, we can also use the marquee selection to select multiples. So let's just click and hold and drag out this box, this marquee selection, and anything that my box touches will now be selected. And anything that was selected before will not be selected any longer, as long as it wasn't inside of that box. So now I can also add new selections with my marquee selection. So what I can do is hold down Control and click and drag my left mouse button, and anything inside of this box will be selected while still keeping my previous selection. Okay? Now deselecting works exactly the same way, except we hold down Alt, and anything inside of this marquee selection will be deselected while still keeping anything previous. Okay, so in this lesson, we've talked about how we can select multiple objects, single objects, as well as how to deselect objects as well. So in the next lesson, we're going to get into working with primitives inside of 3D space.